What's going on, my Century Gunners? It's the Sentiment here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. By the time this video is recorded and uploaded on YouTube, the Elimination Chamber season is over. It's in our review mirror, so far in the month of February, I haven't reviewed a classic Elimination Chamber show. I've reviewed so far No Way Out 2003, No Way Out 2007. Last week I reviewed Elimination Chamber 2023. That's the recent Elimination Chamber show. I'm going to review a classic Elimination Chamber show before the month is out. And I think this weekend is the 5-year anniversary of a classic Elimination Chamber show I'm going to talk about right now. That is Elimination Chamber 2018. This show's at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, on the 25th of February 2018. The attendance of the show was 15,126. Sadly, no pay-per-view buy rate for the show because we're in the post-buy rate era of WWE. Yep, the post-pay-per-view buy rate era of WWE. So, sorry. Anyway, so the commentators for the show are Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Jonathan Coachman, aka The Coach. Why they had The Coach on commentary beats me. They tried this experiment a decade earlier in 2008 when JBL left the commentary table to feud with Chris Jericho. So The Coach is filling in. He's not really a good commentator, so he left the company. Then he came back a decade later. He had some social appearances on WWE programming before he come back as a commentator. That's another story for another time. Yeah, the three-man commentary team, I don't know if they still do it, you know. I think they're still a two-man commentary team. Please don't do it because, you know, they just don't have like a good commentaries to pull off a three-man commentary team. Like, Freeze a crowd, two's company, you know. That's just me. Anyway, so this show, Elimination Chamber 2018, this is memorable, you could say, for two things. One, this is the debut of the women's Elimination Chamber match. And two, this is the final Raw branded pay-per-view of this second/current brand split. I don't really call it a brand split, you know, they're not really taking it seriously in recent years. That's another story for another time. You know, the last brand only pay-per-view of this current brand split will be Fastlane 2 weeks later. And then they decide to like let just do like the two branded shows. They've been doing it ever since, you know. At the time, I don't understand why they decided to stop doing these brand only pay-per-views. Yeah, 2017 was a bit rough for brand only pay-per-views. Maybe they just don't have like a deep enough roster to like put on a brand only pay-per-view. It's just what it is. So they decide to get rid of brand only pay-per-views and just go back to doing a format to doing a double branded pay-per-view for Raw and SmackDown. It's just what it is. Anyway, so before we get to the matches on the show, so there's one segment I'm going to talk about. You know, if you follow this, if you watch my previous wrestling reviews, you know, I'm not a huge fan of segments on pay-per-views because it's just like waste of time. It feels filler. Like the last classic not WWE but WCW pay-per-view I reviewed was Super Brawl 2000. That's revolved around Ernest the Cat Miller, the Maestro, and James Brown. You know, I said like it was better off on Nitro and Thunder, yeah, because that didn't really serve a purpose. You know, this segment, you could say it served a purpose, but like doing like segments on pay-per-views just never worked because it just came across segments you probably see on a weekly TV shows like a Raw or Nitro, Thunder, Dynamite, you name it. You know, you just save it on weekly wrestling TV shows, not on your pay-per-view. You're spending a lot of money because it just doesn't really serve a purpose. This segment kind of like serve a purpose. This revolves around Ronda Rousey. This is a Ronda Rousey contract signing because Ronda Rousey made her debut with the company the previous month at the Royal Rumble after the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. She points out twas the WrestleMania 34 sign. I forgot to mention this. This is the this is the second to last pay per view before WrestleMania 34. I'm not gonna review WrestleMania 34 in for this year. Maybe in the future, but not this year, man. Anyway, so she made her debut. Actually, before that, she made her first appearance on WWE programming. Um, it was at WrestleMania 31 from 2015 in California. Her and The Rock confronted Triple H and Stephanie. I think she lost Stephanie in a armbar. So that was in 2015. 3 years later, she's officially signed with the company. She continued her MMA career. Then she pursued career in acting. I think she's still acting to this day. So, anyways, this segment you got like Triple H and Stephanie, and at the time the Raw GM, Kurt Angle. So Ronda, my thoughts on Ronda. She is not a good talker. 5 years on in 2023, she cannot talk, and 5 years earlier, she can talk. What I mean she can. What I mean she can't talk because she can't. She's not really a good talker. Like in this segment, she was stuttering. She was speaking quietly. She needs to like speak up. Be more boast about it. But instead, she's just like I said, just stuttering and speaking quiet. And also, the fans were not really helping. I think they were chanting, not chanting, but they're getting louder while Ronda's about to on the mic. That's a bit rude. Anyway, so Kurt Angle was off at the same time. He stutter. We'll get to that shortly. Yeah, Triple H. I think like Ronda says in this segment that she doesn't want any special treatment. She wants to earn her respect like the other women in the company. So Triple H informed Ronda that she's getting a match at WrestleMania 34, and then Angle spills the beans. Like he said to Ronda that Triple H and Stephanie's getting back at you because what you did at WrestleMania 31. He said WrestleMania 21. He's a bit off in that segment. But Triple H tells Angle to shut up. He's informing the fans that Kurt Angle he was in the hospital with flu. He's having a relapse, and then Angle said to Stephanie, like, Stephanie, did you tell me that you called Ronda and has-been? You can take her on. And Ronda's got pissed off, got in the face of Stephanie. Then Triple H came back to the ring, trying to like get Ronda away from Stephanie. And then Ronda put Triple H through the table. Stephanie slapped Ronda, and that lead up to the fans chanting "You fuck up" at Stephanie. And Steph kind of run out of the ring, and that was it. That's just setting up a mixed tag team match at WrestleMania 34. Triple H and Stephanie taking on Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's first WrestleMania match in 12 years. And I'm not going to review WrestleMania 34 for this time, probably in the foreseeable future. That's really another classic WWE pay-per-view review for another time. So yeah, this segment was good. It kind of served the purpose because because doing like pay-per-view or segments in pay-per-views just simply do not work because wrestling pay-per-views are designed they're kind of like live-action reels. I said it before, say it again, I could say it many more times, but this, I kind of accept it because it's kind of getting somewhere, and it did. It's just set up a match at WrestleMania 34. So that was the segment. I kind of like it, even though Ronda and Kurt kind of stir, but I kind of find it enjoyable. So that was the segment on the show. Let's talk about the matches on the show. So we're going to start with the pre-show match, in this current product. So, the pre-show match, we got Luke Gallows and Cole Anderson, the Good Brothers, taking on Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel of the Miztourage. So, Gallows and Anderson was not really doing anything ever since the club was disbanded in not disbanded but broke up via the draft in 2016. AJ went to SmackDown. AJ built the house. SmackDown was the house that AJ Styles built. It's a spin off his catchphrase in TNA. TNA was the house that AJ Styles built. So AJ was building the house that AJ Styles built on SmackDown, becoming a WWE champion. Gallows and Anderson was floundering on the red brand. I think there were Raw Tag Team Champions, but unfortunately that never caught fire. So in the start of the year, Gallows and Anderson, for whatever reason, turned babyface, aligned themselves with Finn Balor. You thought I'll be good, the Balor Club, because Balor was not really getting over, you know, because of the whole was it Club Balor who's wearing the leather jacket, he's no longer the demon. Um, it'd be good to see the Balor Club. It's way better than call it the club because here, Gallows and Anderson and AJ Styles trio just simply do not work. It didn't really working for me. I think with Balor, Gallows, and Anderson, the Balor Club, that would be good. I think they missed a great opportunity. They kind of like have segments on Raw, seeing like when Finn Balor enters the arena, seeing not arena but entering the ring, seeing like Gallows and Anderson aside them. You thought Balor Club. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they kind of like drop it, and yeah, they never associate ever since until the feud between the OC and the Judgment Day of recently of 2022. So I don't know what the reason. Like if you don't know the history of Gallows and Anderson and Balor, outside of WWE, Finn Balor's like previous ring name is what's it called, Fergal Devitt or Prince Devitt. They're kind of like the founding fathers of the Bullet Club. That'll be good, but unfortunately, I don't know what the reason. Maybe they've just gone off the whole Balor Club thing. They should have done it from 2016. When they just debuted and had Balor, get called up to the main roster sooner instead of like getting called up via the draft. That's just me, but I don't know what the reason, but I think it'd be good to see Balor, Gallows, and Anderson, the Balor Club, what might be. It could, because at the time they were not getting over. Gallows and Anderson were not getting over. Balor was not getting over ever since the shoulder injury he sustained at SummerSlam 2016 for the Universal Championship. Anyway, he kind of revived his career a little bit, like when he came back to NXT and then part of the Judgment Day. Anyway, that's my spiel on it. I'm rambling. I'm trying to get like into the backstory. So, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, like they kind of joined The Miz in the summer of 2017 during The Miz's feud with Dean Ambrose. And because at the time they were not doing anything, I think them teaming up was a good idea. Even though Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel was part of a previous group, a forgettable group called the Social Outcasts. That's another story for another time I don't want to talk about in this video. Anyway, this match was okay. I thought this was going to be shit because I thought this was going to be like a heel versus heel match, but unfortunately that's not the case. Gallows and Anderson are the baby faces, and Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel are the heels. The fans were really get behind Gallows and Anderson. They were chanting nerds. That's Gallows and Anderson's catchphrase, calling their opponents nerds. Anyway, so in the end, Gallows and Anderson hit the Magic Killer onto Curtis Axel for the win. So it was okay. I'm not a big fan of pre-show matches in WWE. I'm glad they got rid of it. AEW is still doing. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of AEW doing like pre-show matches. Like it's just like it don't really serve a purpose. They're trying to get people on the card. In my opinion, why just like just film some dark matches and film it for Dark or Elevation? Why you're doing this? Doing the match before the pay-per-view. Save the action when the pay-per-view starts. That's my 2 cents on it. So anyway, so the first match to kick off the main show of this pay-per-view, because at the time it was called pay-per-views. Right now it's premium line events. Anyway, so the first match is the first ever women's Elimination Chamber match for the Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss defending the belt against Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky James, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose of Absolution. So, Absolution was formed in late 2017 when Paige came back to the company after injury. They were a heel group. And then I think it was weeks before, or really, yeah, I think it was days before the Royal Rumble. Paige got hurt in a house show match. I think it was a mixed tag team match, or one-on-one match. I'm not too sure. You can probably find it on YouTube. Anyway, so Sasha Banks it was an accidental kick. She kicks Paige in the back. That led up to her neck being screwed up again. This lead up to Paige's 4-year retirement. Right now, she's Saraya in AEW. So that really was kind botching the usual plan of Absolution, because my gut feeling that if Paige was fit, fully fit, never got that, not neck injury, but never sustained that injury, she'll probably be in this chamber match as well. Instead of Mandy and Sonya to be in the chamber match, Paige will be in it. They'll probably add Nia instead. I don't know if Paige probably win it. I think there were plans to give Paige a push. Probably winning the Raw Women's title anytime soon. And then the injuries in that house show happened, and then what might have been. Anyway, so it really, what I don't really get it at that time. Every time, the Absolution members like Rose and Deville end up being down their opponents. Paige is shouting at them. I know Paige kind of take a bump. She could probably join in the beatdown. Hitting hitting somebody with the Rampage, or locking in their opponents with the PTO. That's just me. It's very weird why she never done that. It's not like sustain the injury even further. It's just basically you can still hit someone with a finisher move, and also lock in your opponent with a submission hold. A great example, Arn Anderson. Haven't wrestled in years, still hit someone with the spine buster. Anyway, so this match, it was a good opener, but not an all-time classic chamber match. The two workhorses in this chamber match is Bayley and Sasha Banks. The first half of the match is revolved around Bayley and Sasha and two members of Absolution. The first person got eliminated was Mandy Rose. The future, by the way, Mandy Rose is a future NXT Women's Champion. That will be in 2021, I think. Anyway, so Mandy was the first woman to be eliminated in the first women's chamber match. She tapped out with the bank statement by Sasha Banks. Then Mickie James, she's wearing a Wonder Woman-esque attire, with the tiara, the red and yellow, and not with the blue skirts. If you know who Wonder Woman is, I think at the time, because of the movie, not the sequel from 2020, Wonder Woman 1984. No, the 2017 film. It was popular at the time. And then you got future DCE movies were a lot better. That's another story for another time. Anyway, so I don't understand why she was wearing a tiara. It's not like paying homage to Beth Phoenix, because Beth, in her last few years of her first run in the company, she was wearing a skirt. Before that, she was wearing trousers with a tiara. Beth Phoenix is basically WWE's version of Wonder Woman, with blonde hair, not raven hair. Anyway, so and Beth is Mickie James' previous woman or diva at the time, previous old rivalry in the past, or rival in the past. Sorry, I'm stumbling. I'm trying to get my points across. And also my throat is a bit dry. I'm too lazy to get a drink of water. Anyway, so she was wearing this Wonder Woman-esque costume without the blue skirts with the white stars on it. It's a good homage to pop culture. Anyway, Mickey hit the I think it was a double knee drop off the one of the chamber pods onto Sonya Deville. It was like a double knee stumps onto the chest of Sonya Deville to eliminate her. So two members of Absolution are gone. Yeah, yeah, it's my thinking, Cap, that if Paige was fit, maybe I don't think Paige will take that spot. That I think if I was them, that I'd just be careful, like to put, because at the time Paige wasn't. I think she was not ready to be medical cleared. Trying to like work around it. Don't aggravate that injury. That's just me. Anyway, so two members of the Absolution are gone. So the final four are, Mickey, Bailey, and Sasha. And then Mickey James got eliminated by Bailey. Sasha hit the backstabber onto Mickey James, and then Bailey hit her finisher, the Bailey to belly suplex. So the final three women in this first women's chamber match, we got Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, and Bailey. It's funny that, the three women carried the red brand in the summer of 2017. Like the rest of 2017 are Alexa, Sasha, and Bailey. Because at the time, Bailey was doing the hugger gimmick. At the time, was really run its course. Right now, she's a role model, and the leader of the Damage Control team with Iro Sky and Dakota Kai. Anyway, so Sasha and Bailey getting up on Alexa. Alexa is climbing on top of the cell wall onto one of the pods. I think one moment of the match, Sasha turned on Bailey, pushed Bailey off one of the cell pods, not the cell pods, the chamber pods. My apologies. Confusing cells and chamber, even though this is a chamber match, not the Hell in a Cell match. My apologies. Anyway, so and then I think Bailey got revenge on Sasha because I forgot to mention this. I think it was on the Go Home Raw. Bailey and Sasha had their first match on the main roster, like a one-on-one match, the first time in ages. Since the days they were in NXT. They haven't had a match each other ever since. I don't think they have another match ever again. They're fighting multi-women matches, but not like on a one-on-one basis ever again. I think my memory's a bit confused at the time. Right now, Sasha Banks she's right now Mercedes Moné. I think she's now the IWGP Women's Champion. I think. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I think she did. Anyway, that's just a rumor. Anyway, so Bailey got eliminated by Alexa with a roll-up. So the final two women in this women's chamber match we got Alexa and Sasha. Wow, two women in real life hate each other. If you don't know the story if you don't know, Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks, they really hate each other in real life because the real life feud started like when both Sasha and Alexa were in NXT. You could probably find it on YouTube, on WWE YouTube channel. The match between Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss in NXT. I think it's around 2014. I think it was 2013 or 2014. I think it was 2014. Anyway, so in that match in NXT, because at the time Alexa Bliss was doing this fairy princess slash cheerleader gimmick. Sasha, this was the early years when Sasha became the boss. Sasha not actually accident. She purposely broke the nose of Alexa Bliss, and then I think this is at the time was the horsewomen era of NXT. I think Sasha refused to give any advice to Alexa Bliss. I think, and the personalities outside wrestling. Alexa, I think rumors that Alexa is very nice in real life, and Sasha is a bitch in real life. I think one more of the I don't know what year, one fan come up to Sasha, asked Sasha for a picture, and then Sasha went off towards a fan and called the fan a creep. So Sasha is a bitch in real life. Alexa's nice in real life. Anyway, so they hate each other in real life. it's a shame they never done a proper rivalry between Alexa and Sasha. I think it'd be good. I wish they like put their real life feud aside for the business. I wish could mix a lot of kayfabe and reality. They're probably like the both. Sasha's a better worker than Alexa Bliss, but they could really cut each other pipe bomb promos. I think they missed a great opportunity. They feud in 2017. At SummerSlam. I wish they did that. That'd be epic. But anyway, because they never get along, because they hate each other in real life. Alexa's older than Sasha Banks. I think Alexa was born in 1991. Sasha Banks was born in 1992. Anyway, so I think like I think one more of the match, Alexa was going for the twist of bliss, and one of the women, I think it was Sasha or Bailey, got their knees in the last minute. I forgot to mention that. So in the end, Sasha was going for like a move off one of the chamber pods. Alexa kind of rammed Sasha's head onto, I think it was the pixie glass of the chamber pods, and hit Sasha with a spike tornado DDT to win this match and retain the Raw Women's title. And then Sasha was on the ground, distraught. Alexa, afterwards there was an interview segment. Who interviewed her? Is it Renee Young? I think it was Renee Young. I don't know. I don't remember. So Alexa was like I thought it was a heartfelt promo. Like this is this match goes around the little girls. You can accomplish your dreams. Blah blah blah. And then she actually swerved the fans, and also there were while Alexa was clearing that heartfelt promo, fans chanted you deserve it towards Alexa, and then suddenly Alexa turned on the fans, says none of you can accomplish dreams. No one. It's proved that no one's better than me. They stack against me. I still won. There's only one true goddess, and that was it. That was good. Alexa was teasing like this is a heartfelt promo. I didn't remember it. It's been 5 years anyway, and sort of like she swerved it. To heel up towards the fans. Alexa is a really good heel, and it's really a shame that they ruined her. Like go around 2019, 2020, 2021. She's been ruined. I think the one thing kind of ruined her is like pairing up with Bray Wyatt. That what really like killed her. It really. I think at this moment in time, Alexa is completely finished as a character, not even over. I like Alexa as a heel. I wish she'd go back to be the old school Alexa Bliss from 2017, 2016, 2017, 2018, before turn babyface and teaming up with Nikki Cross. That was another bad decision because Alexa as a babyface just never worked. I like heel Alexa Bliss, trash talking Alexa Bliss. Every time the fans interrupt her and Alexa goes, Alexa say what? Hope she go back to that, back to that character. Stop this whole Uncle Howdy crap. That's another story for another time. So anyway, the first chamber match was good. Not an all-time classic chamber match, but it was a fun chamber match to watch. So let's move on to the next match of the show. By the way, it's the first of two. There's only two championship matches on the show. So moving on to the second championship match on the show. This is for the Raw Tag Team Championships. We got Sheamus and Cesaro, the Bar, defending the Raw Tag Team Championships against Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews, with Dana Brooks, my apologies, in the corner of Titus and Apollo. Yeah, they're better known as Titus Worldwide without Akira Tozawa. Why they come up with this group, Titus Worldwide? I like Dana Brooke in that group. She came out wearing a white dress, heels, wearing the glasses, dressed up like a sexy PA. This whole group, Titus Worldwide, it was a stupid group. I really call it Primetime Players 2.0. Apollo Crews is a substitute to Darren Young. Scratch that. Even though Apollo Crews is way better than Darren Young, but it's just like, really? Like they're not. I don't understand why they did that. Because at the time Titus O'Neil didn't do nothing. You know, he didn't do nothing ever since. Anyway, Apollo Crews. Wow, they kind of ruined Apollo Crews. I don't know what they do with him. He's in NXT right now, but if I was Apollo Crews right now, I think he needs to get away from WWE, man. It's not doing any favors for him. Every time they put the belt on him, whether it's the United States or the Intercontinental title, he kind of flopped. I think the last championship he won was the IC title in 2021. It was doing this African gimmick, him speaking in a Nigerian accent. You got Aziz, his bodyguard. I think they missed the boat on him with that accent. It's a bit goofy, but at the same time, I don't know what like the aftermath of it. It's more like a short-term character for Apollo Crews. Even though I think he's Nigerian in real life, even though he's born in America, but he's African America. It's not, I don't really call it a racist gimmick. He's actually black. I think he did pull off a an okay character. It's just a short-term character. I think it's a bit forgettable. Anyway, the match between Sheamus and Cesaro and yeah, and Titus and Apollo. It was okay. Felt like a match on Raw. I like the bar because I think Sheamus and Cesaro kind of carried the red brand. They're in the middle of their second reign as the tag team champions. They defeat I think it was Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins. Jason Jordan was filling in for Dean Ambrose because he suffered a elbow injury. He came back later on in the year, and Jason Jordan, suffered a neck injury, and you never see him ever again in WWE. It's a damn shame. Anyway, so it was an okay match. In the end, Sheamus and Cesaro retained the Raw Tag Team titles. They hit like a white noise and a neckbreaker combo. I think it was a diving neckbreaker combo onto Apollo Crews to win this match and retain the tag team titles. They have to give Apollo an L. I wish Titus, took the L because Titus completely sucked in the ring. Anyway, let's move on to the next match. So the next match, we got the undefeated Asuka, the Empress, taking on Nia Jax. So if Nia wins this match, breaks Asuka undefeated streak. So Nia will be added into the Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 34. Undefeated Asuka, she made her debut on the main roster in late 2017. The previous month at the Royal Rumble, Asuka won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match to face either the Raw or the SmackDown Women's Champion at WrestleMania 34. The build up to this, you had Nia attacking Asuka. So yeah, actually, I can really that's just it. It's today's WWE product. Like, there's no build up to this. I don't want to get into it in this video. So it's stipulation that if Nia wins this match, she will be added into a women's championship match at WrestleMania. So it'll be turned into a triple threat match. So the match between Asuka and Nia, I thought this was gonna be a bad match. Because Nia is not that good in the ring, but in reality, this was a decent, good match. It was a passable match. It's speed versus strength because Asuka is all about speed and agility. Nia is about strength. She's the irresistible force. That's it. That's Nia's nickname. Anyway, so it was a good match. In the end, I think Asuka, rolled up Nia to win this match. So, and afterwards, Nia got her heat back onto Asuka, attack Asuka, and that was it. That was it. Rolled up, and then Nia got pissed off, attacked Asuka. So, they're teasing like this is going to lead up to Asuka and Alexa for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 34. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Asuka went on to challenge Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania 34. Unfortunately, she didn't leave New Orleans as the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Charlotte won this match, broke the undefeated streak, and I think it hurt Asuka at the time. I think at this moment in time, Asuka kind of recovered at the time. because at the time Asuka is kind of like a big star, you know, in the women's division. Y- You know, it's just what it is. You know, she became a multiple-time women's champion in the next few years. It got me thinking. You know, this is my fantasy booking. I'd rather they just done Alexa Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 34, the Goddess versus the Emperor, instead of like we got Charlotte and Asuka and Alexa and Nia, and Nia won the title. The reason why Nia got pushed and Nia got the championship because she is The Rock's cousin, and also the previous year Nia did a walkout. I think it was refused to put over Sasha Banks. Nia called her cousin The Rock, and yet she walked out of the company for a little bit, and then she came back, and now and then she won her one and only women's title in her career. That will be at WrestleMania 34, and that was it. I don't understand why they did that. I don't really hate Nia. I think it could be two things. It could be Nia herself, not getting better, and at the same time, I think booking kind of ruined Nia. I think they never played to Nia's strengths. They should have made Nia into this monster, like, came down to the ring and kill her opponents. I think Nia is a Triple H guy, but I don't know, man. I don't want to see Nia back in the company. She just came back in the company. She appeared at the women's Royal Rumble match of last month in our current timeline. But I think she might come back. I think she'd be part of the bloodline with Roman Reigns because it makes sense because Nia, like I said, she is The Rock's cousin alongside Roman. I think she fit that group pretty damn well, but unfortunately that's not the case. And also, I think she was women's tag team champions at the same time with Shayna Baszler. I forgot to add that, because the Raw Women's title was the only women's title that Nia won. And then, she became women's tag team champion a few years later with Shayna Baszler. And then she left in 2021, be part of Create Control Your Narrative, and then came back at the women's Royal Rumble match last month at the Royal Rumble in our current timeline in 2023. So, sorry I'm rambling, but I think they should have did that match, Alexa Asuka. It really protect Asuka, Asuka at the time was undefeated ever since she came to the company in 2015. She was undefeated down in NXT. At the time, she was the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. Then she came to the main roster, protecting her, win the Women's Rumble match, and then all of a sudden lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania 34. No one got over. It's just a damn shame. They did Asuka and Alexa for the Raw Women's title. I think Asuka will probably win the title. I think Charlotte was not the right person to end the streak of Asuka. Maybe Asuka's momentum will be still there and still intact. It's there a bit right now, but I think back then, if she never lost to Charlotte or never compete against Charlotte, maybe her momentum will be still intact. That's just me. And sorry about the rambling. I'm trying to get my points across. I'm trying to keep this review a bit short. It's 38 minutes. Anyway, so I'm trying to get my fantasy booking of it. I think like the two women's title matches at WrestleMania 34. You had like I said, Charlotte, Asuka, Nia, Alexa. No one got over. It's just what it is. So move on to the next match. So the next match, oh boy, this is a doozy, folks. You can say the worst match of the night. I really call it a worst match of the night. So anyway, we got Woken Matt Hardy taking on Bray Wyatt. It started in late 2017. The Hardys made their triumphant return to the WWE at WrestleMania 33. They spent most of the time in the Indies and TNA. Then Matt Hardy came back, with the broken mat look. Because at the time they cannot use the gimmick because they're owned by, I think it was Anthem and Impact Wrestling. So they sell this on court, and the Hardys and Matt Hardy, mostly Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy went on to win the court case and won the rights to got the broken gimmick. Yeah, they call it Woken. I don't understand why they call it Woken. I wish they just call him Broken Matt Hardy. Yeah, Woken. What the hell? Anyway, he ended up using that gimmick years later in AEW. Because at the time, I think Matt Hardy's momentum was really was it was falling off the cliff. It was gone because people want to see Broken Matt as Broken Matt because at the time Broken Matt was really over at the time in 2016, and then in 2017 before they went back to the WWE, still over. Then and then by the time they came to WWE, they won the Raw Tag Team titles, then dropped the Tag Team titles. Jeff got hurt. Matt was floundering as a jobber, because he can't really use the gimmick because I think it's owned by Jeff Jarrett and Anthem, and like I said, they set it out in court. Matt won the court case, got the rights to the gimmick, and I think at the same time it was dropped at the same time. So he got the gimmick. He allows to use the gimmick. We finally got Broken Matt or Woken Matt in like 2017, early 2018. But I think it was too little too late. The momentum was gone. They had the first match at Raw 25, so I think no, I think it was Bray won the first match. It's been a long time. I've seen Raw 25 at the time, so this is the rematch from Raw 25. The match sucked. So Matt Hardy appeared first, then Bray Wyatt poofed. He does his shtick. If you watch the old Bray Wyatt stuff with the he does his imagery, and then he suddenly pops up. He pops up. You saw Matt Hardy's jacket, no Matt to be found, and then Matt's, his voice in the crowd. He kind of sing the obsolete song. Then he hide underneath the ring apron, and that was it. The match was just, this sucked. It was just punch, punch, punch. It's just I don't know. It's very flat. One more of the match, Bray hits Matt Hardy with a DDT onto the ring apron. This is just really, this is falling flat. In the end, Matt Hardy got the victory, hit the twist of fate onto Bray Wyatt, and that was it. At the time, this was the dark day for Bray Wyatt, in this darkest time for Bray Wyatt, because he was losing. He was losing matches and rivalries. His career was going downhill before he became part of the before he became the Fiend and doing the Firehouse Funhouse skits. He was losing. He's turned into a massive jobber. He was never the same after, because having the John Cena rivalry in 2014 kind of hurt Bray's momentum. Yeah, he was WWE champion in 2017. Unfortunately, that's not caught. It basically didn't caught on fire. It was not getting over. It's just a damn shame at the time. I'm glad Bray recovered. Became the most over guy at the time. He's still over to this day. He came when he came back. At the time, I think at the time he was. You could tell he's rebuilding his momentum because he left the company in 2021, came back in late 2022. Now he's still in this storyline with Uncle Howdy. Are they going to get a payoff? Beats me. Anyway, so it's just what it is. This is set up the deletion match. This was a few weeks later on Raw. That was way better, man. I think people want to see not just Woken Matt. You want to see the return of Jeff because Jeff was out. They want to see Jeff as Brother Nero. We got that in that deletion match. They want to see Rebby. We got Rebby. She made an appearance in that final deletion match on Raw a few weeks later. Senior Benjamin. What's it called? Vanguard 1. That's the drone, and also Starsguard. The boat. The steel boat, and also that butler. Yeah, it's man. Go and watch those Hardy segments on TNA. In 2016, they're really good. It's just I think it lost a lot of momentum. It's a damn shame if Jeff got hurt. If they able to still got the rights of the gimmick earlier, maybe things might work out differently for Matt. But at the same time, it's just Vince, man. I think Vince don't want to push something. It's not his own creation. It's just what it is. It's because the broken gimmick is TNA's creation. It's not Vince's creation. It's just what it is, man. Sorry, I'm rambling. Get my points across. It's just a lot. It's gonna be a long review, so beat it, man. So anyway, moving on to the main event. I think this is the one and only 7-man Elimination Chamber match. Winner faced Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 34. The competitors inside the Elimination Chamber. So we got Roman Reigns, John Cena, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, The Miz, and Elias. Speaking of Elias, before the start of this match, Elias did his shtick. He kind of sings. He basically sings like Miz is delusional. He's a D-list celeb. Roman's not facing him. He's too afraid to face him. I beat John Cena. He's not afraid of the monster on my man. Elias at the time was getting over. It's a shame that they dropped the ball on Elias. What might have been, Yeah, they did the Ezekiel character in 2022, but at the time, Elias was getting over. The Drifter guitarist was getting over at the time. They really missed a great opportunity for Elias, building him up to become another potential future star in the foreseeable future. And unfortunately, they didn't do nothing with him, and he's built like a loser. It's not, I don't think it's him. It's just WWE. They just don't know what they do with him. Anyway, so this match was good. I think you could say match. Actually, I could say match of the night by default. Similar to the women's chamber match. I don't really call it an all-time chamber match. There've been better ones in the past. This is the Braun Strowman chamber match. Because he did have a good, solid performance. They kind of before Miz did his kicks. He started doing it because it goes off Daniel Bryan, because every time you see Daniel Bryan matches, he does the kicks and the fans go yes. Miz start doing them. He do it on multiple men like Cena and Reigns and Seth Rollins. By the way, on the Go Home Raw, I forgot to mention it. They compete in that Gauntlet match. It kind of restored a little bit of Seth Rollins' momentum. But that's not saying too much, because at the time Seth was kind of like a cookie cutter babyface. Anyway, so the first person got eliminated was the Miz. Strowman. Before that, you had other competitors. Trying to eliminate Braun Strowman. They hit They hit the 5-man was it triple power bomb? They call it the Shield bomb. That's actually phony. I prefer the triple power bomb. If you follow the career of the Shield, they hit it on Braun. Braun kicked out. He kicked out of Cena's FU. He kicked out of Reigns' I think he kicked out of Reigns' spear. I think he kicked out of Seth Rollins' curb stomp. They try to because Braun is this unstoppable monster. He hit 6 competitors with the running power slam onto the Miz. He was running towards the Miz. Miz climbing on top of the one of the chamber pods. Strowman, Strowman is actual ability fast. He's not just strong. He's incredibly fast. He runs like a cheetah. He's running, climbing on top of the wall of the chamber onto the chamber pods. Anyway, he kind of threw the Miz off one of the chamber pods into the other competitors in this chamber match. Then hit the Miz with a running power slam. Yeah, it's just Strowman, just running power slam. He hit one on John Cena, and then Cena was acting all disappointed and distraught, like Sasha Banks. It was teasing of his heel turn. Unfortunately, they went full throttle because he competed in the 6-pack challenge at Fastlane a few weeks later, lost, and then it set up John Cena, Undertaker, WrestleMania 34. Another story for another time. So the final 2 is Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. In the end, Roman won this match, because at the time Braun was getting over, he was the over guy at the time. People weren't seeing him win because of he's built like this monster, he's the monster man. At the time, Roman was getting booed, This is the hype of the super Roman phase, because he was this forced. His push was so forced. It's funny right now because I just watched last week I watched Elimination Chamber 2023. He was getting booed properly as a heel. Back then, he was booed like he's John Cena 2.0. He was his gimmick was not getting over. It's just it was so forced, and people not believe that Roman is this top guy yet. Anyway, so yeah, so anyway, Roman won this match. I think he hit like three Superman punch and two spears to pin Strowman and won this match. And he would face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34, folks. I'm not reviewing this show anytime soon. And afterwards, Strowman got his win back. Attacked Roman Reigns, throwed him. I think he throwed him into the pods of the cell, and it's the way to get the fans go home happy. In my opinion, I wish they did this, had Strowman win, and then attack Roman, and leave the arena, let the fans leave the arena happier. Because at the time, people don't like Roman because, I just don't like the super. The whole thing, they're trying to make him more like he's Superman 2.0. Because the guy, he was wearing black, like, if you read the Superman comics in the past, Superman wear black. But he wear black because his powers were weakened after his battle with Doomsday. I thought there was another Superman from a different universe wearing black of evil. That's not the case. Like, the symbol is stupid, because I think it stands I understand it's supposed to be 2 R's, means Roman Reigns, with Roman, hitting somebody with a Superman punch, the symbol is stupid. Michael Cole keep calling Roman Reigns the big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog. It's so phony. I'm glad things work out with Roman a few years later. He's the most over guy in wrestling, not in wrestling, but the most over guy in WWE with the Tribal Chief. He's the longest reigning Universal Champion in the company's history. I'm glad he's booed, but booed him properly as the top heel, not like this guy has been shoved down our throats. So I wish they did a triple threat match between Brock, Roman, and Braun. I understand that they just had that triple threat match at the Royal Rumble, Braun, Brock, and Kane. But it should probably make sense to did that instead of doing Brock and Roman. That was stupid. And Braun went on to win the Raw Tag Team titles with a 10-year-old kid called Nicholas. Wow. Don't want to review that. I might review it in the future, but yeah, that was one of the worst shows of 2018. I'm talking about WrestleMania 34. So anyway, so my final rating for Elimination Chamber 2018. Overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. Looking back on it, 5 years earlier and 5 years on, for me, I thought this is going to be just like a one-match show of the women's Elimination Chamber match. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Not the case. I think the two chamber matches were good. Not all-time classic chamber matches, but they were fun chamber matches to watch. Asuka and Nia was fun to watch. It was a decent match. I like the segment between Triple H, Stephanie, Kurt Angle, and Ronda Rousey. It set the mixed tag team match at WrestleMania 34 pretty well. The okay you had only had some okay matches. Only two matches in the okay. The pre-show match. It's my channel. Don't shoot the messenger. Gallows and Anderson versus Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. It was okay. And same as the Raw Tag Team title match between The Bar versus Titus Worldwide. The only match in the bag for me has to be Woken Matt versus Bray Wyatt. Man, it's just filler. It's just like just like a middle match of their rivalry. They had the blow off at the final deletion match, and I forgot to mention they end up becoming a tag team at WrestleMania. Went on to win the Raw Tag Team titles. Then Matt got hurt, and then Bray took some time off, became the Fiend / Fiery Funhouse Bray in 2019. That really that was the beginning of Bray's career revival. So anyway, folks, that's my review of Elimination Chamber 2018. Slight thumbs up for me. What's your thoughts of Elimination Chamber 2018? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button, click the bell, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube, be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time on the classic WWE pay-per-view review series, we're in the month of March, leading up to the road to WrestleMania 39 in April. For the month of March, I'm going to review some classic WrestleMania shows. I did a toss of the coin. Should I do which classic WrestleMania show to kick off WrestleMania 39 season, and it got me thinking. Let's do it. Let's do a vote. Let's do a voting poll. I want to do a voting poll. You know, I did it the start of the year. Which classic Royal Rumble show you want me to review to kick off the Royal Rumble 2023 season? I'm gonna do it for this WrestleMania season. So I don't know what classic WrestleMania show on the poll yet. That'll be in midweek. So I'm gonna keep it as a surprise. That'll be in midweek. I'll do a community poll. What classic WrestleMania show you want me to review to kick off the WrestleMania season? Until then,